Squid Game Season 3 gave us chaos, betrayal, and blood. But what if the wildest twist was hidden in plain sight? What if baby 222 wasn't just a miracle? She was Thanos' daughter all along? Let's break down the darkest theory yet. Before the Squid Game, before the chaos, before the overdose attempts and brain-melting pills, he was almost a king. Choi Subbong, better known in the underground rap world as Thanos, was once South Korea's most unhinged lyrical menace. His voice could level a crowd. His charisma weaponized, he carved his name into every freestyle alley from Seoul to Busan. Known for rapping blindfolded, drunk, and sometimes bleeding, his ultimate claim to fame was placing second in the infamous Rap Battlegrounds tournament. But forgetting the lyrics on the final verse, 1 second of silence cost him everything. That loss haunted him like a curse. But what really broke Thanos wasn't the mic. It was money. At the peak of his short-lived fame, Thanos became obsessed with a YouTuber named Lee Myung-gi, a crypto guru who ran the channel Mcoin. Thanos swore he watched every video, memorized every pump, every dump. He even called Myung-gi his digital prophet. So when Mcoin promoted a new coin called Dalmatian, Subbong didn't hesitate. He dumped 500 million won, all his rap money, into it, and the coin crashed hard. Dalmatian was a scam, a rug pull, a black hole that swallowed everything. Within weeks, Thanos was 1.19 billion won in debt. Fans vanished. Labels ghosted him. His mother begged him to get a job. Instead, he vanished into pills, hallucinogens, and spiraling rage. One night, Thanos climbed the railing of the Han River Bridge. He was ready to jump until a man in a suit appeared with a red envelope and slapped him across the face with a dokji tile. "Want to play a game?" the man asked. Thanos smiled, bloody-lipped. "God's a game master now?" And just like that, he entered the 37th Squid Game. Not for honor, not for redemption, but because he had nothing left to lose. A quick recap of what happens. The first 3 games of the 37th Squid Game weren't just blood and betrayal. They were an emotional minefield for Junhai, now visibly pregnant. It was a return to hell, one final desperate attempt to win a future for her unborn child. And just when she thought she had left her past behind, she saw him again. Lee Myung-gi, infamous YouTuber turned disgraced crypto hustler, was the last person she ever wanted to see. The man who vanished right after she told him she was pregnant. The man who pushed Dalmatian coin on his fans and destroyed lives, hers included. Now he was here, player 333. Junhai and Myung-gi assumed he was the father of her child. At first, Myung-gi said nothing. No apologies, no explanations. He stared at Junhai like he'd seen a ghost. And Junhai, she avoided him entirely. The pain was still raw. Her belly was getting heavier. Every game felt closer to death. But in between the chaos of survival, the games, the food riots, the night fights, the emotional tension began to boil. Myung-gi, racked with guilt, started following Junhai from a distance, watching her, trying to protect her without ever admitting why he ran in the first place. Junhai, stubborn and cold, pushed everyone away when it was the first morning in the games before anything would happen. And in the middle of it all, Thanos, player 230. At first, Thanos was just comic relief, a purple-haired rapper who spoke in verses, threatened guards with imaginary mixtapes, and got caught sniffing sugar packets behind the kitchen. Nobody took him seriously, but Thanos was always watching. Every interaction, every glance between Junhai and Myung-gi, and for reasons no one understood, he kept inserting himself into their drama. Sometimes defending Junhai from other players, sometimes mocking with cryptic jabs like, "You sure that baby's yours, bro? Looks like it's kicking with my rhythm." Everyone thought he was just high or crazy. Myung-gi certainly did and hated him for it. Their feud escalated rapidly, with Thanos provoking and Myung-gi threatening violence. But Junhai noticed the strange glances, the tension, the way Thanos sometimes looked at her belly, not with mockery, but with something complicated. She didn't understand it. Not yet. But the air was shifting. Meanwhile, Myung-gi was unraveling. No longer sure of who he was to Junhai, to himself, or even in the game, his confidence crumbled, especially as Junhai slowly stopped accepting his help. Even her friends and teammates like Gue-hun, Hyunju, and Ji-yeon questioned if Junhai really wanted him around. Season 2 ended on a brutal note. Several major players died in the third game. But Thanos, high, injured, and laughing to himself, vanished in the chaos, only to return bloodied, bruised, and smiling like he knew exactly what was coming. The final image, Myeongi clutching his side, covered in blood, staring at Thanos from across the arena. Their eyes locked, not with rage, but confusion. Unspoken questions between them. And Junhai, far away, looking at them, stood still, silent, one hand resting on her stomach. Junhai believed Myeongi was the father, but she didn't know for sure. Myeongi thought he was the father, but the way Thanos looked at her, the way he grinned every time he talked about the baby, was starting to gnaw at him. And Thanos knew something no one else did. He didn't need to say it. Not yet. Because in the shadows of the 37th Squid Game, he was waiting for the perfect moment. A moment where truth would destroy everything. A moment when everything would fall apart, not with a bang, but with the reveal. The truth was out there, but it wouldn't explode. As players are guided into the fourth game, the gumball room, Thanos trails behind Junhai with Namyu at his side. Both are laughing loud and unfiltered, teasing Junhai as they walk. Namyu has no idea Thanos is the baby's father. He simply enjoys tormenting her. Myeongi watches from afar, arms crossed, tense. He doesn't know who the father is either, but the way Thanos mocks Junhai with such intensity makes something twist in his chest. He considers intervening but instead stays quiet, observing. Each player is handed either a red or blue gumball. Junhai and Myeongi both get blue. Thanos and Namyu get red. This time, there are no trades or color switches. The rules are announced. Blue team players get a 5-minute head start inside the maze, where they must find the exit using hidden keys. After 5 minutes, red team players will be released, and their job is simple: eliminate at least one blue player. Myeongi walks up to Junhai and offers to ally. She shuts him down immediately. "Get out of my face," she snaps. Without another word, she joins Hyunju and Ji-yeon. Hyunju fights and kills anyone who gets in their way, while Ji-yeon helps Junhai manage her pregnancy. Myeongi is left alone again. He races through the twisting maze, checking locked doors and marking paths in his head. His key opens some, but not the exit. Time is ticking. Meanwhile, Thanos hands Namyu a small pill. They take one together, no explanation, and burst into the maze with manic energy. When the game actually starts, they scream, laugh, and swing their knives with no coordination. Somehow it works. They catch and kill their first blue player, then hunt down a few more, their movements erratic and terrifying. Myeongi, in contrast, moves carefully. He stumbles upon the exit door, but it requires 3 keys. He only has 1. He begins scouring the bodies of fallen blue team members, but most of the keys have already been taken. As he moves, he spots Hyunju, Ji-yeon, and Junhai in the distance. Hyunju has just killed a red player, blood dripping from her hands. Myeongi hesitates. He sees Junhai is in good hands. He turns away and keeps searching. Soon after, he finds another dead red player. A knife lies near the body. He picks it up. Now armed, he presses deeper into the maze. The cries of a newborn baby suddenly echo through the halls. Everyone hears it. Thanos freezes. His face drops. "That's a baby," he mutters. He grabs Namyu and takes off in the direction of the cries. Myeongi, keys in hand, hears the same sound. He had just found the final 2 keys for the exit, but something makes him stop. His feet change direction. He runs toward the noise. Inside a small room, Junhai has just given birth. Ji-yeon is finishing the delivery while Hyunju watches the door. But when the baby is born, Hyunju is needed to hold the child momentarily. For that brief moment, the room is left vulnerable. Thanos and Namyu arrive. They kick the door open, knives raised. Namyu laughs in disbelief. Did she bring a baby into the Squid Games? He jokes, confused but amused. Thanos doesn't laugh. He stares at Junhai, who's cradling the child. She's pale, drenched in sweat, her eyes wide with fear. Thanos doesn't move. "Don't touch anyone," he warns Namyu. Namyu doesn't care. He lunges at Hyunju, starting a brutal fight. The two clash, blade against blade, echoing through the halls. Junhai screams for them to stop, shielding her baby. Thanos stays back. torn between stopping Namyu and confronting Junhai. At that moment, Meongi rushes past the ongoing fight and enters the room where Junhai sits, baby in arms. Then he sees Thanos. The two lock eyes. Without a word, they draw their knives. Meongi attacks first. The two men crash into walls, strike with wild force. Meongi is faster, but Thanos is stronger. They cut, shove, and claw at each other, each knowing they're running out of time. Meanwhile, Hyunju finally gains the upper hand and kills Namyu. She runs into the room, grabs Junhai and the baby, and shouts at Ji-yeon to move. They rush out of the room to safety. Junhai keeps looking back, terrified. She's scared for both of them, despite everything. Only 1 minute remains. Thanos and Meongi collapse, exhausted, bloodied, and breathing heavily. Neither won, neither lost. They just survived. The buzzer sounds. The game ends. Both men lie still, staring up at the ceiling, not speaking. They lived. But the next game is coming. The next morning, as the players head to the 5th game, jump rope, Gui-hun, Hyunju, and Junhai walk side by side, slowly climbing the endless maze of stairs leading to the game arena. They talk softly among themselves, each trying to hold on to some shred of sanity. This time, Thanos is alone. No pills yet, no friends. He walks several steps behind. Quiet. Meongi is even farther back, distancing himself from everyone, including Junhai. When they arrive at the 5th game's arena, a collective silence falls. Two massive platforms face each other, suspended over a bottomless void. One is the starting platform where Junhai stands, gripping a heavy, tensioned rope. Across the gap is the end platform where Hosuk waits, holding the other end. A narrow but long bridge stretches between the platforms. The rules are simple, but that doesn't make them easy. Players must cross the bridge while jumping the rope. The catch? The rope swings with constant speed and force. And if you trip, you fall into the void below. The timer starts. 20 minutes to cross. No one moves. Fear is thick in the air. Then Thanos, eyes wild with confidence, pulls out a pill from his cross, swallows it dry, and steps forward. He glances at Junhai, smirking. She avoids his eyes, stiff and silent. Thanos leaps onto the bridge. He jumps rope with ease, as if this is nothing more than a childhood game. Laughing, howling, completely detached from the danger beneath him. He jumps across the narrow walkway with surreal precision. He reaches the end platform effortlessly, throws his arms up, and yells, "This is easy as hell." But there's something behind the showy grin. He knows he has unfinished business with Meongi and Junhai. Still, he doesn't expect what's coming next. Encouraged or desperate, more players begin to cross. Some make it, others fall to their deaths. Gui-hun goes alone, steady and quiet. Meanwhile, Junhai, Hyunju, and Meongi have a tense conversation. Meongi offers to carry Junhai across the bridge. Hyunju says she'll carry the baby first. Junhai doesn't believe in Meongi's strength or his loyalty, but hands her newborn to Hyunju anyway. She grips her hand and whispers, "Please just save my baby." Hyunju looks at her and nods. "You both will be okay. I promise." Thanks to her military training, Hyunju crosses the bridge flawlessly. She holds the baby close, shielding it, her feet landing perfectly with each jump. She reaches the end, turns, and lifts the baby into the air, showing Junhai that her child is safe. The timer ticks down. 5 minutes remaining. Back at the starting platform, only Meongi and Junhai remain. Junhai looks at him and says, "So, are you going to carry me now or what?" Meongi avoids her eyes. "Junhai, I don't think I can carry you." Her face twists in disbelief. "Then why the hell did you say you would?" Tears form in his eyes. "I thought I could. I wanted to, but now I don't think I can do it." Junhai stares at him, stunned and betrayed. Before she can say more, he steps onto the bridge alone, leaving her behind. At the far end, Hyunju sees it all. She clenches her fists and shoves the baby into Gui-hun's arms. With only 3 minutes left, she prepares to go back. Junhai sobs. Hyunju shouts, "I'm not leaving you." She begins to step onto the bridge again, determined to bring Junhai across herself, but Junhai screams, "No." Her voice is raw and desperate. Hyunju freezes. "Don't do this." Junhai begs. Junhai's face is soaked in tears. None of this is your fault. Don't come back, please. But Hyunju keeps going, defying the plea. Junhai, her heart shattered and mind spinning, sees no other way out. She doesn't want to risk Hyunju dying too. And as she sees her child safe, she doesn't ask for more. So Junhai makes her decision. She steps off the edge and throws herself into the abyss. Gasps echo across the arena. Hyunju stops mid-jump, staring down at the void where her friend has fallen. She stands paralyzed. She is still jumping the rope, but she stands in the same place. She doesn't go forward or backward. Her hands tremble. At the end platform, Thanos steps forward, peers into the void. His expression shifts. Less arrogance, more shock. For once, he says nothing. Then he turns toward Meongi, who is just reaching the end, and starts making fun of him, teasing him. You let her die. You left her. Meongi, wounded from more than just the game, stumbles past without a word. Players shout at Hyunju to turn back and finish the game again. She finally turns, lifelessly, jumps the rope, and reaches the end platform safely. The moment she lands, she collapses to her knees, screaming in grief and rage. She glares at Meongi, vowing through her sobs that she's going to kill him. The final game comes, and no one expects what is about to happen. The players enter the gigantic arena, Squid Game. The first round begins. There are 5 O players and 3 X players, an extra, Guehun, and Hyunju. Among the O's are some extras, Thanos and Meongi. The O players begin discussing killing the baby. Even Meongi considers it, but Thanos shuts them down, telling them to focus on Hyunju instead. The others agree and approach her, trying to convince her to die to protect the group, but she refuses. Guehun, holding the baby, hands Hyunju a knife given to him earlier by the front man. Hyunju stands protectively in front of Guehun and the baby. She won't do anything but fight if needed. The O players, frustrated, decide to kill the extra X player instead. Thanos sighs, tells them to step aside, and kicks the X player off the platform without hesitation. The second round begins. The O players are determined to get rid of the baby, but Guehun and Hyunju remain a strong defense. Then Meongi approaches them. He begs for forgiveness and says he wants to help them defeat the O players. Shocked, the O players demand to know why he'd betray them. Meongi takes a deep breath and says, "Because I'm the baby's father." Everyone gasps except Guehun and Hyunju, who don't believe him. Suddenly, Thanos shoves his way forward, gets in Meongi's face, and yells, "That's my daughter, not yours." Another wave of shock. "She was drunk at one of my concerts and went crazy," Thanos claims. "You thought you were the father, but you're not. That child is mine." A chaotic fight breaks out. Meongi versus Thanos. Guehun and Hyunju versus the remaining O players. Guehun and Hyunju take down the extras quickly. Then Thanos, high on pills and enraged, gains the upper hand. He throws Meongi off the platform. Now only Guehun, Hyunju, Thanos, and the baby remain. The final round begins. Hyunju whispers to Guehun, "I will end this." He nods and steps back, cradling the baby in his arms. Hyunju steps forward, gripping the knife tightly. She and Thanos begin to fight. Thanos, unstable and empowered by the pills, becomes wild and ferocious. Hyunju nearly beats him, pushing him to the edge, but in a last burst of energy he grabs her and hurls her off the platform. She disappears into the void. Thanos hits the start button for the final phase. He faces Guehun and yells, "Give me my daughter." Guehun, trembling and devastated, doesn't react in time. Thanos lunges forward, rips the baby from Guehun's arms, and kicks him off the platform. It happens too fast. Guehun doesn't even scream, just vanishes. The games end. Thanos is declared the winner. With the money and newfound freedom, Thanos returns to his old life of fame and luxury. But this time, he keeps something hidden, his daughter. No one knows what happened in the games. No one knows how he suddenly cleared his debts or became rich again. He raises the baby in secret. To the world, he's just a successful rapper back on top. But behind closed doors lives the child born in hell.